He was born on the 7th of January of the year 1945, and on the 15th of October 2025, he crossed to eternity. He rested at the age of 80 years. He was receiving treatment in an Indian hospital when he rested, and the news of his demise sent shockwave across the country and the entire continent of Africa. Raila came from a house of politics, and he himself is a political powerhouse. And due to his position in politics and his defiant voice in condemning the evil, he experienced a great share of pain from the political class. He studied engineering in East Germany in the 1960s and came back to a young, independent Kenya that was already divided by tribal and political lines. He took up teaching job at the University of Nairobi and later went into business, but his heart was in politics. In the 1970s and 1980s, Kenya was under the rule of Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, the second president, on a one-party regime. At the time when dissent was dangerous, Raila quietly joined underground movement claiming for multi-party democracy. In 1982, after a failed coup, Moi government in which the Air Force attempted to overthrow the president, Raila was arrested and accused of treason. He spent 6 long years in detention, most of them without trial. The cold prison walls became his classroom of resilience. Even in prison, he said he can never give up hope that Kenya would one day be free. This dream with him to achieve it. Released in 1988, Raila emerged into changed but still repressive Kenya. Undeterred, he joined other reformists like Kenneth Matiba, Charles Rubia, and his father Jaramogi to push for the return of multi-party politics. In 1991, the pressure finally forced Moi to repeal Section 2A of the Constitution, adding the one-party rule. Raila joined his father in forming the Forum for the Restoration of Democracy, FORD, but internal divisions spread the movement into factions. His father led FORD Kenya and others formed FORD Asili. When Jaramogi died in 1994, Raila inherited not just his father's supporters, but also the heavy mantle of leadership in the opposition politics. In 1992, Raila won his first parliamentary seat as the MP for Lang'ata, beginning a long career in elective politics. He was fiery, eloquent, and bold, never afraid to confront the power. After a few years, he defected to KANU, the very party he had fought for decades, in what shocked many of his supporters. But he had a plan. He sought to fight the system from within. In the year 2001, Moi appointed him as the Minister of Energy, where Raila initiated policies to expand rural electrification. Still, he was not content. When Moi endorsed Uhuru Kenyatta as his successor in the year 2002, Raila led a dramatic walkout from KANU and helped form the National Rainbow Coalition, NAC, alongside Mwai Kibaki and Charity Ngilu. The slogan Kibaki Tosha was coined by Raila himself at a massive Uhuru Park rally. The rally marked the end of Moi's 24-year rule and ushered in a new democratic era. Alliances in Kenyan politics are fragile. By the year 2005, Raila and Kibaki had fallen out over constitutional reforms. Raila led the Orange campaign against Kibaki's proposed constitution, which Kibaki camp used the banana symbol. The Raila Orange team won, and out of this victory, Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, Raila Political Party, was formed. In the year 2007, presidential elections were held, and this remains one of the most contested in the Kenyan history. Raila faced off against Kibaki, And when the results were announced declaring Kibaki the winner, violence erupted across the country. Over 1,000 people died and 1,000 more were displaced. It was a national tragedy, but out of the chaos came compromise. Raila agreed to a power-sharing deal, becoming the Kenyan Prime Minister in the year 2008 under the Grand Coalition government. As Prime Minister, he championed reformed infrastructure projects and constitutional changes. The 2010 Constitution of Kenya, which devolved power and established counties, remain one of his proudest legacies. In the year 2013, Raila contested again, and this time against Uhuru Kenyatta. The new constitution had created the Supreme Court, where Raila challenged the result but lost the petition. Again, in the year 2017, he ran against Uhuru. The Supreme Court made a historic ruling that nullified the presidential election, citing irregularities, a first one in Africa. However, in the rerun election, Raila boycotted the polls, claiming the Electoral Commission had not completed the reforms. Then came the unexpected twist. The year 2018 was a shock to Kenyans. There happened the handshake between Raila and Uhuru. On the steps of Harambee House, the two men held hands, promising to end years of political bitterness. It was in this handshake that the two formed a genuine and true friendship and brotherhood. The handshake calmed tensions and gave rise to the Building Bridges Initiative, a plan to reform governance which was later struck down by the courts. In the year 2022, Raila ran for president once more, and this time was backed by the outgoing president Uhuru Kenyatta, and his opponent was William Ruto, who was once his ally. When Ruto was declared the winner, Raila rejected the results, citing irregularities, but the Supreme Court upheld Ruto's victory. Though he lost again, Raila's influence remained strong, not as a defeated politician, but as a symbol of endurance, reform, and resilience. Today, Raila Ondinga stands as one of the longest-serving and the most influential opposition figures in the African history. For more than 4 decades, he has been the heart of Kenya's struggle for democracy. Imprisoned, betrayed, celebrated, reviled in equal measures. Baba once said that a true leader doesn't give up because of a defeat. He learns, rise, and fight again. Whether admired or criticized, Baba remained a man whose name is inseparable from the Kenyan political evolution. He was a bridge between the old Kenya and the new, and a reminder that democracy is not an event but a lifelong journey. He dedicated his life to Kenya, to reform and the rights of the people. He will be remembered as the father of the Kenyan democracy. He might not be the president, but his power gave presidents sleepless nights. He was the real living system. He criticized government without fear and always had the interest of the people at heart. He will be remembered as the true people's president, and his death is one that has caused a huge wave of mourning in Kenya. Under the soils of this country are the bones of our ancestors who fought for our country. In the skies are their spirits in millions of stars watching over us. Baba has decided to be a star, and he'll be watching over us as a guardian. He will forever live in our hearts, and in the book of history, he will reign supreme. That is the true immortality. Baba, thank you for being a loving and forgiving father and a wise supreme elder of this country. Baba, may the skies be your home forever. May you rest in peace. May you find eternal love. Know that Kenyans, we love you and we continue loving you. Know that Kenyans will continue fighting for the country. Know that Kenyans have learned the value of democracy, the value of freedom through your struggles. Know that Kenyans recognize all the efforts, all the sacrifices that you made for this country. May you rest in eternal peace.